Welcome back to another Gig Drivers Live episode with your host, Mr.BetonYou. Appreciate you guys for being here tonight. Happy Sunday. I hope your week went well. I hope your weekend went great. If you're out and about making money right now, I hope you're making good decisions. I hope you're being safe. And for anybody that's down there in the Florida, Carolinas region, southeast region, you're in my thoughts. I know you guys got hit last week. I think something else is coming up. Be safe out there. No amount of money is worth it. Make sure you're prepared, and you'll be in our thoughts. Tonight we have a special guest tonight. I am very excited. Okay, I'm gonna say hi to all you guys in a minute. Very, very, very excited. Okay, the person that we're gonna be bringing up, she's gonna be coming up in just about 5 minutes or so. DoorDash. It's a channel that I actually shouted out maybe like 6 months ago, and many of you that are here probably know of this creator, right? That does the content she's been doing. And I'm just excited because for many reasons that if you don't know who she is, I think you're going to wind up loving her at the end because of her energy, her story. We're going to talk about, this is a scripted interview. I didn't send her any questions. I told her, hey, we're just going to talk about maybe this, and we're just going to have a conversation. And I'm very gracious that she decided to spend some time with us this evening, and very excited to showcase her and show you guys what she's about, have her share her story. And a long time coming, but the seasons were right for both of us. So she will be on with us tonight. But before we get into that, talk a little bit about the week we just had, talk a little bit about next week, and I'll say hi to you guys in the chat, give you guys an opportunity to hit that thumbs up button for our special guest. Now, before she comes up, I am going to show one of her shorts. I did not tell her I was going to do this, but I think she makes the best shorts in the community that we're in, this gig content, gig tuber, whatever. And she's stretched beyond that right now. And we'll probably organically get into that. But her shorts, they're hilarious. I'm going to show you guys one of them just to kind of like welcome her in. And they're just funny. They're just hilarious. I just can't stop smiling. All right, I'm very excited. Yeah, DoorDash. I'll show you guys real quick who we're talking about. She'll be in here in just a couple of minutes. Hold on one second. If I click that button, that's the page right there. That's what we're talking about, DoorDash. Now, I'm not going to share with you what I know about her, and I'm sure there's even more. I want her to share that, but this is who will be on the show with us in just a little while here. First, before that, get into that, appreciate you guys for being here. I see Lynn's in here, Ghost. I saw Chuck, Texas, Cautiously Optimistic, Brenda, Gig Gal, what up? Appreciate you guys for being here. Now, this week was stressful, if I'm being honest. You know how I keep it real with y'all. It was a stressful week. Low earnings, didn't work Friday, more car issues. Just, it's almost like the season that I'm in right now. It's just crazy, right? But we're still here. We're still thriving, surviving, providing. We had a family wedding last night. I had a great day yesterday, so even when I have a bad week, even when you might have a bad week or whatever, right? It's usually not as bad as we think it is in the moment, right? Because perspective is everything. Time heals. And then when I have a day like yesterday, it just kind of makes it all sink in for me as to why I do what I do, what's important. So the gig life wasn't great this week. Hasn't been for a couple of weeks. But the thing that's most important to me, spending time with my girls, having peace, I was able to get some of that back. So I feel very, very good and ready for this next week to do some gig work, do some creation, content creation, and then whatever else happens, take some time off, right? And just clear the mind, be at peace. And I'm very, very, very excited to do that. Now, I don't want to keep her waiting. I told her about 5 minutes in. I'm going to show you guys a short just to kind of warm up everybody, okay? As to the energy that we're going to be having tonight and who our special guest is. If you don't know who DoorDash is and you're in this space, you might have been living under a rock, okay? She's been blowing up, but the main reason is because she's just real and she's transparent and she's bold and she takes chances and she's vulnerable and you can't not only love and appreciate somebody like that, especially when they're putting themselves out there, their identity, their likeness, their emotions, their story. right? So very happy. But I need to show it short because I want to start this off with a little bit of laughter or just give you guys a little bit of who this creator is. So let me pull it up and we'll watch one quick little short. Hold on for a second. Okay, so let me go there. And you know what? It doesn't really matter which one because they're all really good. Let me see. Do I need to have this unmuted? Yeah. Let me click on that. Okay. I don't think that's gonna. Okay, no, it should be fine. Let me. I don't even know. They're all good. Let me just. Let me show you guys the one that I was just rolling. There's a lot of them that are hilarious. Where's the one that I really like? Hold on. I'm showing you. This is her page. This is just her shorts. Obviously, she does a lot of her main content is the long form videos, which she's been rocking out. I'll show you guys. I don't know. I think this is funny because it's relatable. Let's click on this one. Hopefully the sound works.
Hi, I'm picking up a food delivery order for Shabubu. Here go your drink. Thank you. Here your food. Finally. Hi. Hi, here you go. Here your drink and your food. Thank you. What I drink? Ma'am, that's your drink. This cup empty, ain't nothing in here. That's how they serve them. They give you a cup and they say that's your drink. My job is to pick it up and deliver it. That's it. Excuse me? Hi, I'm picking up a food delivery order for Shabubu.
Shabubu? Listen.
Listen. Thank you.
I can't.
Hold
on. All right, I'm gonna bring it up in just a moment. Shabubu. Listen, there's other skits. Go give her the views. Go give her the love and support and tell her what you think. Let me go ahead and bring her up just now. I think you guys heard that. Appreciate all the people that are in here that might have been coming from her channel. Appreciate that as well. Let's go ahead and bring her up. Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, is it fine? I have my earbuds in.
No, I think you're good. We can see you. We can hear you. Everything's great. How are you today?
Pedro. Oh my God. You are so awesome.
Oh, listen, I'm a big fan, as I've said in some of your videos and things like that, and very happy for you to spend some time with us on this Sunday. I'm sure you're busy, but I'm just happy that you're here. I think you have a story that is becoming helpful for people, and it seems like it's helping you in some ways, and I think that that's a win-win. So I just wanted to kind of honor and give you some flowers because I know your journey is going to continue to go, and I just want my audience at least to kind of see that as a hope of a little bit of inspiration, because I know you're inspiring a lot of people in the community that you're growing every day. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. And I respect you so much, Pedro. Like, I respect you so much. Like, people, they have stuff to say all the time, but I see who you are and you care about people in a way that not many people do. I see that. And
Appreciate that. And back at you. So, I don't know if you remember, it might have been 5-6 months ago. I gave you like a shout out on the channel. Like, check this out. I think I might have referenced one of your videos or shown one of yours. And people are like, oh yeah, I know her. I watch her. And then to see where you're at now from there is amazing. And I don't even think you realize what you've been doing. Maybe you feel like you're in a whirlwind. It's happening so fast. So can you just share with my audience kind of like what you've been, why you started doing content creation? Obviously, you're a gig driver, right? And then just kind of share a little bit. What do you think that you want people to know about you in this space?
Well, I want people to know that I am a go-getter and I don't take no for an answer anymore. If I want something, I'm going to get it. And at one point in my life, my business wasn't doing so well and it was hard. I wasn't getting the orders and it was just hard. And I was sitting in a parking lot at 3 o'clock in the morning crying because I just didn't know what to do. And I just heard a voice say DoorDash. I didn't know what DoorDash was. I seen it, but I didn't really know. And then, like, literally that night, I signed up with DoorDash, and I was working the next day. And I feel like it opened doors for me to get closer to my dreams, because I don't want to do the traditional job thing. That's never been my thing. I want to fulfill my purpose and figure out, what are we here for? What is the point? That's my whole thing on life. I'm like, what's the point? I'm not just going to waste it doing something that I was traditionally set up to do.
Mm.
And so I want people to know that there's more to just doing something that you were taught to do. You should follow your dreams, figure out what this means, what all this means for yourself.
Yeah. So you mentioned you had a business and it wasn't going as how you wanted it to, right? So I imagine when you say that, you know, you're not bringing in the money like you want, you're spending time and you got bills, you know, all of us can relate on some level to that at some point, whether it's now or before. So you start doing DoorDash to make some income, right? And in some of the first videos that I was watching, you were making mostly DoorDash content, right? And you were the energy and DoorDash and the little skid and the tire squealing, and like, it was like, wow, who is this? This is like a really fun, high energy intro. And, you know, I love that about creators when they do that. And you keep it so positive, and, you know, you would talk against the narrative a lot of times that people maybe can't make money doing this, or they complain too much. And I've been part of that group sometimes too, right? And I always love that positivity that you would share, right? And you weren't always maybe having fun doing it, but like I could always tell in your eyes that there was something else. There was a gleam, you know, like something's about to pop like there's something else there. And I think we're starting to see it. But how did
Let
you
me
feel
find out
about
you Jesus, for real.
what's that?
Let me find out you Jesus for real.
No, definitely not. But like, I say that because now I feel like over the last, what is it, a month or so, or 5-6 weeks, you started to kind of transition a little bit, right? You know, sharing more stories and being vulnerable on things. Can you talk to us about why you started doing that? You know, do you really enjoy that? Are you seeing the fruits of the labor in that? Like, what was the time that made you want to kind of shift some of the content?
Well, I did an interview with UDM, and UDM, I don't know.
Shout out to UDM. Shout out to UDM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. I got to give him some props, because he invited me on his show, but he was just like, you talk some real talk. Like you talk real, like, and a person doesn't have to have a lot of followers for me to see that there's something special about him. And I was like, I saw something special about him, and he saw something special in me. He invited me on his show, and it's just something that he sparked an interest in me to want to do more. And then I saw Meaty Mama, and I saw her content, and because I'm inspired by people, I don't get jealous of people I am inspired.
Yeah.
I saw her content, and I saw that she was delivering orders, and she had tens of thousands of people watching that. And I said, I do this all day. Why don't I do what Meaty Mama's doing? Let me record myself delivering all day. And I just started doing it. But then I realized I'm actually interested. Like, I'm actually entertaining. I actually am funny.
You are definitely that. Both of those things, yes.
I didn't know. And so when I started doing that, I'm like, we got the order. I'm like, where did that come from? Can I please get my order, boo, boo? Like, what is this? And so I just kept recording, and I'm like, oh, I'm interesting. And then people kept saying I'm entertaining. I'm like, well, let me keep doing this. Yeah, I want thousands of viewers like Meaty Mama, but I'm like, this is actually fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Like,
it can be fun. It can be fun. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever find, if you're having a rough day or whatever, do you ever like record a video or get into that fun space that not character, but like you turn it on for the camera, and does that ever help you sometimes?
When I turn it on, see, I'm always like this, but then I also look at it like when people watch me, I want them to feel good. So it's like when you go to a job, you go to the job and you do the job. I'm like this, but I also perform because I want people to feel good.
Yeah.
So does that answer your question?
No, 100%, 100%. That's your way of kind of giving back a little to have, you're providing them that relatable content, that entertainment. That's what I try to do. And then, you're going to be helping. In the beginning, it might be a few people, then it's 100. Now it's hundreds, 100,000 people you're helping every day. You're probably getting that many views a day at least. So that's got to be a great feeling to see your work kind of reward you back. Like you're rewarding your community, right, on YouTube, and they're rewarding you back with the love and support. And now that's become a very, very lucrative monetization for you. And I've seen your current videos where you're talking about, I can't believe this is real life. Like I see it, and I see those thumbnails that are just like real, and it feels like it's happened. It feels like it's happened quickly for you. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like, have you grasped that yet? Because that's real money that you're sharing. I mean, that's real money. You said in this week's video, or just maybe yesterday, you've paid your rent in 4 days. That's amazing, and I think that should be honored and you should be really proud of that,
Yeah, I've worked so hard that in the back of my mind, my goal, we always have a goal of how much money we want to make when we become big on YouTube. So I said, I want to make $3,000 a month. I said this 2 years ago.
Oh,
and
okay.
I
didn't know that. I didn't know you had kind of a number. That's awesome. Okay.
I did. I feel like anyone who kind of blows up kind of knew it was going to happen. I'm just going to be honest with you. But we just didn't know when or how it would happen. But it doesn't happen out of nowhere. It happened because you set the idea in your mind. It just took about 15 years.
Yeah.
And so I had a goal of 3,000. I thought it was going to be lifestyle content, but how do I feel? I feel so good because I'm tired. I work a lot, and I just knew because of the examples I saw with Meaty Mama and you and other people, like you always said, keep going with your content. You inspired me by saying something as simple as just keep going with your content. You said it. You was like, keep going, it's going to pay off. And I just had that inspiration to go when even when I wasn't monetized, even when I wasn't getting the views, I was like, let me just keep going. I don't know. I felt it. And when it happened, it didn't have anything to do with DoorDash.
Right. So you mentioned lifestyle content. That's what you thought it would be, right? To get that 3,000, and that's where you ended up, right? That you started maybe with DoorDash, and that's how you got to your 1,000 subs, and you build your own community. But then now are you saying you're kind of making the content that you prefer to make, and what's going to take you to the places you want to go?
Yeah, because I enjoy doing the DoorDash content, but it's veered into me talking about 9-to-5 jobs after I saw a guy talking about it. I actually didn't even listen to his video. I just saw the title. And I immediately said, oh my gosh, I have something to say about 9-to-5 jobs. And I started talking about it. And I had people watching my dashing diaries, but they weren't really that active in the comments. They weren't really, they were kind of, it wasn't grand, which I still am so grateful and I respect, and I'm so grateful that they showed up, but it wasn't because of that. It was because I was talking about my feelings and how I felt about 9-to-5 jobs.
Yep. It was real. You just opened up, you're vulnerable and sharing your story, and
Yes. And I was going to say something else. I forgot, but I also was going to say, now that I think about it, I don't really want to get big doing delivery dashing diaries because my car has 50,000 miles on it in 3 months. I wouldn't feel right just turning on the camera to make content and then going home. You know, like I know it's probably easier said than done, but if I was to get really big doing dashing diaries, I don't think I would want to keep doing it. So like you said,
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to grow from what I'm doing now. And then it's going to turn into me just living my life and sharing it. And I don't think I want to do DoorDash delivery content,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
forever.
I can relate to that a lot. And I'm not at that space yet with my channel. And I appreciate you bringing it up. I think it's a great segue into kind of like the description of tonight's live. I think I put in there, it basically says, let me read it. How can DoorDash drivers stop dashing? An exclusive interview with DoorDash.
Wow.
Now, the reason I put that in there was because I saw the video title. Maybe you're not going to be doing DoorDash, going full-time content. And obviously that's something you've been thinking about. Maybe it's been a dream of yours. I don't know. But, I think in the space that we're in, this gig work and, 99% of the people that watch me or other creators or 99% of people that were watching you, before you had this whole new community that you're forming and growing and they're loving you and you're loving them. Right. And which started with the 9-to-5 videos and then the YouTube monetization, those couple of viral ones that you had, right, that really took you where you're at. But I guess my point is, for me at least, I think, the DoorDash content is valuable because it's relatable. We can teach people tips and tricks, and we're alone in our car, and people watch us when they're alone and they don't feel alone. So like there's an extreme, in my opinion, extreme amount of value in that. Because we're helping people. It's relatable content. It's real, right? But like, how can we, or let me ask you this. Do you feel like now this money you're making on YouTube, this kind of like fork in the road, you're on a whole nother road, will it allow you, and is your purpose going to be, I'm going to do less food delivery and fold in more content so that I can make up the difference if I'm not working food delivery, but I'm doing something I love? Like, do you get what I'm saying?
It will. Right now, I have to do it because I haven't gotten the check, so I'm doing it
Sure.
for the next. But I need a break. I'm tired, Pedro. Okay, I'm tired. Okay, I work a lot. I work 16, 18-hour days. Thank you, Meaty Mama.
Yeah, shout out to Meaty Mama. Big fan, Meaty Mama. Big fan.
Thank you. All of you, thank you. I'm tired. I'm just going to be straight up with you. I work. Now, I probably could learn how to do the content and not work, but my spirit and my heart has always been into speaking to people. I just like speaking to people, connecting with people, and that's just and being funny.
Yeah.
So anything that can allow me to do that, I do. And so I'm in a weird space with it right now, to be honest. But right now, I just know I need a break. I need a week off. I have not healed from my surgery. I have not, and it's been a year since that surgery. So we just gonna take a break, and I'm gonna still do content, but more of helping people by the wisdom I have, and it's just lifestyle type content, but
Yeah.
still helping people because I'm tired.
Yeah.
So right now we're just gonna take a break whenever I get to.
Well, listen, I think you said you put 50,000 miles in your car in 3 months. Is that right? So you're grinding. And I knew that already from watching some of your videos, and you would comment maybe on mine every once in a while. I check out yours. And I'm like, she's getting it. She's hustling. And I think that's probably why UDM wanted you on, because of your hustle, your spirit. He saw something in you. You know what I mean? I'm not speaking for him, but I'm that's got to be part of the reason. So you've been putting in the work. So to give yourself grace and some time, you obviously, it's well deserved,
But it's worth it though, because I have the car I want. I live in the place I want. All my bills are paid. I'm able to live a great lifestyle because of how I work. And I don't want to ask people, for stuff. So that's why I do it. And I have money, extra money. And I don't regret it. DoorDash is a big blessing. Food delivery, anything, it's a huge blessing. And like you said, you asked me, how do I handle the days when I'm not doing so well?
Yeah.
I I could talk about it and just say, oh, it's not going so well. But like I said, I don't want to put that energy on other people. But, that I'm not trying to tell anybody to be positive
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
I just know how I want people to feel when they come in my presence.
Yeah.
Because I've learned my Tabitha Brown, she is like amazing. And I've learned being positive works so well for you if you're trying to get into the space of growth, if you're trying to grow.
You're
And you
so
see how
right.
I'm growing.
Yeah, no, you're so right. And I think for me,
But no, I don't want you to think any type of way. I don't want you. I'm just saying, I'm kind of using her as a blueprint.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I think that's great for you. And I can relate. Because I think people. I like to use the word seasons. I think life has seasons, right? Just like the weather, and you have ups and downs. And gig economy's up and down. It's great. One day you make $300. The next day it's like I can barely make $150. Right? We've all kind of been there, right?
It's terrible right now. It is. And I just want to say, I never miss your videos. I don't care what you're doing. I never miss. You don't have to.
I'm all over the place.
Like no, but it's something about you. You know something. And I honestly don't even feel like you've reached the height that you could. Like I don't even think you understand how valuable you are. You know what you need to do. I'm not going to tell you what you need to do, but I feel like you are going to reach a higher pinnacle than you can even imagine.
Yeah, same for you. I appreciate you saying that, and that's when I watch you, I see that. I think I said it was like a gleam in your eyes. Like it's there, and you've been blowing up, but you haven't reached, you haven't reached that yet. Because I think when people, I think I use the word vulnerability a lot and sharing a story. I think lifestyle kind of form content, vlog style. That content to me is the what I really enjoy watching overall. Because when people put themselves out there and they put their face and their name or whatever, and they're just like, I'm gonna turn the camera on and I'm gonna share a story about something because I want to help somebody. That's the best kind of content, especially on YouTube. It's YouTube. You're showing you, and you're very bold in that, and you're unapologetic. And I think that people like that because it's real. We're so used to.
I learned it from you. You posted it every day, so I'm like, you know what? I think we got this thing about us that we've been through some stuff. So we are consistent.
Yeah.
Not because we are we are consistent because we have it in our blood, in our bones to be consistent. And I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off, but
No. This is your show today, not mine. You're good. But yeah, I think I definitely have a story that I haven't even fully shared to the world because I'm just not ready, if I'm being honest. If it's just you and I talking, right, having a cup of coffee, I'm just not ready to share all of it yet. And that time will come when I'm ready and I feel like it's appropriate for even my family, because I know that it could be impactful. Even if it's like 100 people that would watch that video or my videos, like, wow, that really kind of meant something to me. That means a lot to me because, I've watched other creators in this space and other spaces, or I've had help from other men in my life that have helped me. And that's transformed my lifestyle and my mindset, right? And I feel like you probably have had that with, I think you said Tabitha Brown and probably other people, right? So for me, I want to try to give a little bit of that back in pieces when I can. But that day, you mentioned the daily content, that's a grind. You know that, right? Let's be real. It's not easy to make a video every day. Like, it's hard.
It's easy. It's easy for me. I just turn
For
the
you,
camera
it's easy?
on.
Oh, man.
I don't edit nothing. I just put it out there. I used to be the one to delete my videos, but I'm gonna tell you something. I've been talking on YouTube for years. My most viral videos are viral from me just talking to the camera. I don't know where I get this from, but I'm able to relate to people in some type of way. And I always thought people didn't like me or something, but when I talk, I relate to people. So I just cut the camera on and I post it, and it is what it is. It's in me. I got it out, and I try to be mindful, but it's not hard for me. I don't do no editing because I don't care anymore, Pedro. Let me tell you, I have failed. I have showed up looking like $1 million. I've had the PowerPoint. For some reason, all the fancy stuff didn't work for me. I tried all that. Tried to be perfect. Had the makeup on. You know what? Forget it. I'm over it. I'm tired. Okay, you gonna like me or you not? I'm done trying to be this perfect poised. One of these days I will. But it's like people just like it for me to be myself. And
Is it?
so
But isn't it? Let me ask you this. And I'm very similar as far as the editing. I don't edit. Everything I do is on a phone. I don't. My editing is very. It's not. It's nothing. So I have a lot of respect for the people that can edit and they take 5 hours and it looks great. Not me. I don't have that skill set. I don't have the passion or the time, to be quite honest. Especially when you're doing it every day, as you know. You got to press record, use iMovie or whatever you're using. Just get it out there and let it do its thing.
yeah.
That's kind of my thing, right? Let it
I
do
just
what it
want
does.
people to feel good. I just want them to feel
Yeah.
good. Like you feel good. I want you to feel good. That's why I put music in my vlogs and I want you to feel good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So do you mentioned like, I don't care. I tried the makeup and I remember that video. I think you did a video a couple weeks ago kind of referencing that, right? And do you feel like sometimes content creators or people in general just walking around in everyday life, right? Do you think sometimes people try too hard and sometimes they lose themselves in that journey and sometimes that might show on the camera?
I think people try to, what's the first thing that came to mind? The first thing that came to mind is people don't care about people. They care about how many followers they're getting. They care about how many views they're getting. When you don't genuinely care about the people who watch you and you're just talking just to be heard, or like you just want people to see what you're doing and watch what you're doing and watch me and I'm here and look at me, you don't have any passion for the people watching. They're not gonna show up.
Mm,
And people can feel when you're just trying to. People can feel when it's not about them, when it's all about you.
I
And
agree.
when you're first starting out as a content creator, you're trying to grow them. You're trying to bring them in. And what am I trying to say? People just want the numbers and the followers and the
Yeah.
subscribers. They're like, how many times do I have to post today? Just post. Like, forget how many times you got to do it. Just first of all, figure out why you're doing it and find your purpose. How do you want to help people?
Yeah.
Not just you want to be seen. You just want somebody to see you so you feel validated because
Yeah.
maybe your parents didn't validate you or your teacher didn't validate you. So you just want to feel so validated by having the number.
Yeah.
And that's where people go wrong.
Yeah.
They
I
want
like
that
this.
validation.
I like this comment from Chris. Thanks, Chris. It's called being authentic instead of being a character. Yeah, I think there's some
Yes.
value there. And I think there's some people that can separate or compartmentalize. They can be like, you know what, I'm going to play a character on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok. And that's okay because that's how they want to do it, right? But I think with somebody like you, obviously it's a lifestyle vlog channel and you want to be yourself and you want to help people through the social media avenues of YouTube or whatever else. Are you on TikTok as well or no?
No,
Okay.
TikTok just doesn't do anything for me. And
Yeah.
not right now, but I was going to say to that character part, when I feel like if you're trying to grow your social media, be yourself, but 10 times more. Like, be yourself, but like you see when I do my vlogs, I'm like, we got the order. I don't do that all day, but that's my personality.
Yeah.
And so when I turn the camera on, you're going to get me times 10. And I feel like some people need to feel all of their emotions. They're
Mm,
happy, they're joyful emotions, they're excited emotions, they're sad emotions when they're on camera.
mm.
So that some people think you're being a character, but you're just feeling more when you turn the camera on versus when the camera's off. You're 10 times more than who you are. And I think that's what people need to be. 10 times more than who they are when they turn the camera on. You can't
Yeah.
just be your quiet. You got to turn it up. What's your personality like? Are you funny? Be funny. Be funny. Be happy. Be excited. Be joyful. That's like a character, but it's still you.
Yeah, I think you could be yourself, but 10x it 10
Mm-hmm.
times, and it's still you. You're just giving that energy to the people because you have a message you want to share, right? And you want to grab those viewers because you got something for them. You want to help them. You won't help all, and not everybody will get it, and that's okay. That's part of being kind of a creator. But Let me ask you, I want to get it back just for a second to the gig work stuff, right? Because a lot of us here do that. Somebody put in the chat, I can't rely on gig work anymore, right? And I know you just mentioned you've been doing it a lot of miles, a lot of this. You got all these reward programs, you got all this stuff going on. Like, have you seen a change in your marketplace with the apps that you work, DoorDash or whatever other ones you do? Like, are you noticing it harder to make the money you were making, let's say, a year ago, or has it been about the same for you?
It is different. It is. It's a lot less orders coming in.
Mm.
And when they do come in on like a busy, let's just say there's a busy day and they're coming in back to back, they're not good orders. There are no more, there's like out of 100 orders, there's 2 or 3 $12 orders. There's 2 or 3 $14 orders. And that's for me because my ratings are bad. But I've never gotten my acceptance to a 4%. I literally had a 4%. That's how bad it is.
What was the highest you've ever been on DoorDash?
I've had 100%, 100 everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But in order for me to get good orders or make $200, my acceptance rate has to be at 8%.
Mm.
And I've never been that low. That's for people who decline. If you're a decliner, I'm sure your acceptance rate is below 10% now.
Yeah.
You can't. But if you're not a decliner, you keep it, or I'm sure you keep it around 85%, but it's not easy. It is not easy. And so I don't know what it's like. Maybe top dashers get better orders now, or whatever you call it. But I just cannot bring myself to accept all the orders. I just can't. And so maybe it's just not for me anymore.
It's hard. I want to ask you this, and you could, I don't want you to overshare if you're not ready, but like with now that your channel's doing what it's doing, right? And with YouTube, it can be very up and down, right? I hope you don't see that, but that's what I've learned, at least. You could have this month's this, and but for you, I think you're just in the beginning phases of what you're gonna be able to make, whether it's $300-400 a day, and that's great money. Like that, to turn the camera on and do a couple videos a day, you're making that. I mean, I applaud you for that, because you put in the time already. Now you're seeing, you planted the seeds, now they're growing. It's kind of how I look at it, right? And you're gonna have a nice bouquet, you're gonna have a garden, and then you're gonna have to tend to it. That's what we all do as creators. You're gonna have to figure out, what flowers do I like, what videos do I like, what, how much do I want to give my community, like, and there's a give and take with the creation when it's tied to money. That's my experience, at least, right? Yours might be different, and you're in the beginning phases of seeing those checks come in. I think you said you haven't gotten it yet, right?
No, but I'm listening to you, because you know some stuff. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and you'll get yours. You'll get your first one on the 21st. So a couple of weeks, you're gonna get that check. It's gonna be nice, and that's reward yourself, take yourself to dinner, whatever buy yourself an outfit, whatever, right? Because
I'm gonna just take a break.
Yeah, there you go. So that was my question, is like, do you have a plan as to will you take that break from the gig world? Will you extend it if those numbers support it, to where then you'll be able to really go in and like, what, I can be a full-time creator? Is that a goal of yours, or have you not gotten to that space yet?
Yeah, that's a goal, is to take it and look into some investing and make sure I'm not spending the money and just keeping it in a bank.
Yeah.
So first we're gonna chill. We're not gonna spend. I'm not gonna like. I'm 42 years old. I have done all the things. Lord, I have had money and I have wasted it. Now I'm just like, I just want me a pair of shoes and I want a week off. Period. I ain't thinking about no lavish vacations. None of that. So my goal is to really sit and think what avenue I'm gonna go in. Am I gonna set up a microphone and just talk to the camera? Am I gonna stay in my car? Am I gonna do blog content? Basically, what I feel like you do with YouTube money is you take the money and you put it into the video. You put it into the video. Like, you don't have to get a fancy equipment. You just find a way to make the visual experience for your audience better. That's what you do with the money.
Yeah.
Some people go to Malaysia. Some people take the trip and go and they film it. Or they go buy a new car with the money and they film it. All of that stuff just brings your audience in more to watch you. So there's a different avenue.
I think that's a great point. I like that you said that. You know, for me, I've always I had that thought like a couple years ago. You know, and I haven't really done enough of buying the best equipment, and you know, I haven't invested enough of it. You know, I remember I bought this like little laptop I'm looking on, and I'm a simple man. Like I don't have a lot. I don't like technology. You know, I might buy myself a pair of shoes, you know, every once in a while. Like I'm pretty simple. I give to my girls, and I try to save money for the future. Like I don't buy a lot or anything like that, so I can appreciate that. But like I think you mentioned the microphone or this or that. There's a lot of things you can kind of level up your channel with and reinvest the money that your community is giving you by viewing and super chats, and you'll start getting all that, and I'm sure you have already, right? And if you invest that back into them with different experiences or traveling or trying this out and a different setup or maybe going live every once in a while, like they'll appreciate that. So it keeps them engaged. And I think giving back to the people that are giving to you is super important. I've tried to do that. I don't think I've done it enough. Sometimes, you know, I sometimes question myself, man, I should maybe have a better setup. I should get a better camera. But like I also sometimes think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like I just do it with the phone, you know? So, but I appreciate that answer because I think it's, you know, it's very thoughtful. I can tell like you've thought about, okay, what's maybe my next step? I know I want to break for myself, maybe get some shoes, but like, what is something I'm going to be doing down the line? And I, you know, obviously this community, especially more so probably mine than yours, is more, my community is mostly DoorDash drivers. I think yours is different. No. I think yours is a little bit different because of the videos that have really popped for you. But like, I think with the DoorDash community, like, I think we should be like for somebody like you, if you're going to work it less and take a break, that's like something we should be like honoring and applauding. And I think sometimes people look at it like, oh, well, she's not driving anymore. They look at it like a negative or something, like it's a bad thing that you're making money on YouTube. And I never understood people that like would do that, you know, like it should be celebrated because you bet on yourself. You're doing all these things. Like you got this, you know, you were at a conference last week. Like that's stuff we should be celebrating and trying to inspire fellow Dashers to do whatever else that they're passionate about. It doesn't have to be YouTube channel because it's hard on YouTube, right? But like, you know, I wanted to really champion your story because for me, I want drivers to get out of the rat race. Not everybody, because it's not for everybody. But like, when I see people have success, I like to kind of like showcase it because I think we hear so much negative. Most of my community tells me they're struggling, they don't like this, you know, they're not making money like they were a couple years ago, but they keep doing it. So it's like, where's the breaking point of like trying something else? You know what I mean?
Well, DoorDash was always my means to stay on the path towards my purpose. DoorDash was never going to be my permanent or this is what I'm going to do because this is who I am.
Yeah.
DoorDash was a way that I was able to stay aligned with my freedom. And I just so happened to fall in love with doing this food delivery because I was able to connect with people and make people smile and see people and be my joyful self and not stay in a building around people who are so negative, like being boxed in a building all day. I was able to focus on content creation. I was able to focus on what is it that I really want to do with my life. Because, you know, with food delivery, you're not really thinking about a job or you're not really thinking much. It's easy. So I wanted to stay close to my purpose as close as I could. And that's freedom to do what I really want to do. So I feel like people need to look at it like you have all this time. You're sitting in your car all day. Some people playing video games. Some people just talking on the phone, lollygagging. Use that time to figure out what you really want out of life. I want a lot of money and I want a lot of time. So I'm going to focus 100% on content creation and post every day and be myself and show myself. And I didn't know I was funny, but it's just me getting closer to what I really want to do in life. And food delivery or any type of delivery does that. You got to realize that. You can't just be wasting time.
Yeah.
You know?
And, you know, I love that you're just so honest. Like, I want money and time. Because, you know, a lot of, you know, and there's nothing wrong with saying that, you know, like, and money isn't everything, but money will give you time if you know how to use it, right? If you know how to use the money and use your time, you can have both money on YouTube or another side hustle you might have, or an investment, or whatever you got going on, real estate or this or that, can give you time to take that break that you might need for your mental, for your physical, right? You said, I think it's been a year since the surgery, right? And you haven't fully healed, right? So now you can, your hustle and your grind and your thoughtfulness and your realness is going to afford you, because you have some money, extra money coming in, it's going to afford you the time that you deserve, right? In
Yeah,
that,
I want to. Yeah. Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm an Aquarius for my zodiac sign, and I don't know about nobody else, but that stuff actually does make a lot of sense. And my aunt used to tell me, you care more about strangers than your own family. And I didn't understand what she was saying until one day I looked and it said Aquariuses are humanitarians. They care a lot about human existence, and they care a lot about humans. And I have owned it. I really want to be connected to people. And that's what food delivery did for me. I was connected to the customer. I was able to give them a great experience and let them know that I was going to handle their order right. And I love that. I just want to be close to the people. And so what I do now is I get like 1,000 comments right now. It's right. You can say it's a glory days for me. I get like 1,000 comments a day, and I answer every single one of them, and it pains me if I can't. And I know I shouldn't, because I remember Oprah. Oprah, she's Aquarius too. She would talk to each and every one of her audience members after the show, and that was over 700 people. So we just love being connected to people, and so I just want to be connected to people. I just want to be connected to them, and so that's me. I just want to help people.
And if that's important to you, and
That answered your question, sir.
Yeah, no, and I can appreciate you saying that. Try to answer, or you are answering every comment. You're getting a lot of comments, and like that's hard to do. So, as a creator, it becomes a full-time job. If that's how if that's how you want to, it becomes a full-time job, because
it makes me feel good.
Yeah. I love that. I can tell just off the smile alone. Like, there's a lot of value in it. And I think for me, I would still make content if I wasn't making money. I think it would be different, but I'd still make it, because I think we have some similarities. We like to help people. I love the engagement. I love the questions, right? I love if I get an email from somebody and they're like, hey, that video really meant something to me. I appreciate you making that. It kind of puts a smile on my face, because that's the whole intent of it, right?
I haven't gotten to the I don't know about the email yet now. I ain't got my email. I ain't gave my email yet. Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, don't. I'm just saying I did a long time ago, but that's just me. But I think, it can be a lot sometimes, but it's good to know that the effort you put in and your vulnerability that we show on camera means something to some people, right? And it's nice, because the money's great, trust me, right? It's fantastic, and we deserve that because we're putting the time and the effort. It's kind of like, the cherry on the top, but like at the end of the day, like I like just the engagement, because I get that from other content creators that I watch. And if I comment on a video and they like heart it or comment back, it kind of means something to me, because I took time out of my day to comment on the video. And anybody that comments on our videos, that means a lot to us as creators, right? And the least we could do, I always tell people, especially in the beginning, hey, you get a couple comments, you got to heart it. You got to, even if you don't agree, you got to, let them know that you saw it. Because I think people like that. And we're, content creators are really nothing without the viewers. They help us,
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, a lot. So I wanted to ask you, and if you guys have any questions for DoorDash, please be willing to put them in. If they're appropriate, I'll put them on the screen. But if you got some, put them in the comments. And what did you do before? You said you were a business owner. Your business was, struggling or whatever. You weren't. It wasn't how you wanted it to go. What business were you in? And then like, what W-2 kind of career jobs did you have before you got into the gig space?
I created a hair product, and it was back in 2016 when it really took off. I was the only person making it. I was making 1,500 jars in like a few days,
Oh wow.
shipping them. Yeah, I was shipping to all over the world, all over the country. I shipped to Antarctica one time, and I'm like, who in Antarctica wants a hair product? So it was really good. It's just it was just a lot, because when you have a business, you kind of have to play this game of popularity,
Mm,
and make yourself look like this hot shot to get
mm.
people to buy your product or hire people with good hair. And it was a lot, but yeah. And so I was, before that, I was doing retail. I worked at J.C. Penney. I worked at Kohl's, and then so basically retail.
Yeah.
I only worked at McDonald's. That was the only restaurant.
Okay.
And I worked at, yeah, a lot of call centers, and just basically retail. So I'm a big customer care type of person. I worked at a hospital a couple times. That was
Okay.
different. I was getting sick every day, and the environment was just not for me. And so I ventured into self-employment, and just said, I just want to do something where I'm working with myself, but then I'm connected to people. So retail customer care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2016. So since 2016, you've been making your own way, and
Since
then
2014, I
14.
haven't worked. Yeah, I haven't worked a job since 2014. I was selling coconut oil from 2014 to about 2016, and
Mm.
then 2016 I made my own hair product. Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
So
That's awesome. If you've got any left, you can send it to me. I don't know if it'll work on my hair, but
you got a lot.
I got too much. My girl told me last night, we had a little wedding to go to, and she's like, I have my hair down. She's like, you want me to put it up for you and like put it in a ponytail? I'm like, nah, I'm just comfortable today. And at the wedding, I only have my hair long because of her. She likes long. She likes it.
Yeah.
But now, last night, listen, she goes, maybe it's time to cut it. I'm like, oh, okay. You want me to cut my hair? And she goes, well, I don't know. Maybe, you ever thought about it? I'm like, I don't think about it. I haven't had a haircut in over 4 years. So it might be time for me to buzz it all off. We'll see. I don't know.
I don't know. We're not gonna know who you are.
It'll be, maybe I'll do it live. I'll just do it. Like, it could be fun. Who knows?
I bet that's how people feel about me not doing DoorDash content, because they feel some type of way. So if you
Yeah.
cut your hair,
Yeah.
it's like, that's not Pedro.
Well, I think we gotta be us though, right? And the seasons change, and change, and content can change, and all that. Are you gonna be? Do you think you'll make another ride along type DoorDash content video after you take a break? Will you do that, or will you go? Are you at this point? You're like, I'm gonna do this lifestyle, talking, just speaking, and sharing stories kind of stuff, or do you think you would ever go back and making some gig content?
I don't know, Pedro. What do you think?
Oh, I can't listen. I don't know. I think a lot can happen, right? So, I could see you maybe doing that. I mean, I wouldn't want to give you any advice because my channel's been, I can be all over the place sometimes, but I don't know. I mean, the gig content's for a smaller audience, right? The views ain't going to be as much, right? But it's also, if you're still doing it, that's still part of who you are. So, I think eventually you'll come to that answer, obviously. You'll figure, you're smart, so you're going to figure it out.
I just want to give my audience inspiration to push through. It's just like, I feel like so many people are so scared to do stuff. And it's just like, I'm not really. I just feel like you're provided with so many blessings that the door is just open for you, but people are scared to walk through the door. They're afraid. And I feel like I'm here to be like, watch me do it, and I'll inspire you by my life, by me living my life for you. If you need to live vicariously through somebody, I'll be that person, and hopefully you'll finally walk through the door so you can live the life you want to live instead of being afraid all the time. People are afraid to do food delivery. I'm like, well, obviously you got a lot of money in your bank account because you're afraid to make some money. That doesn't even sound right. Like, or afraid of what's going to happen. And it's
Yeah.
just like, I want to be the light so people won't be so scared. Like, you're 60 years old, you still haven't lived the life you want to live. Like, that's where
Mm,
I'm at.
mm.
I don't want people to
I love that.
be afraid.
And we're the same age. You said you're 42. I'm 42, right?
42.
So, yeah, I think for me, I love that you're talking about people being afraid and scared, because there's a lot of that. And I think we all have that time. You know, for some people, it might be in your early 20s. You got to kind of figure it out, and you're bold and you're ambitious and you're like, bam, I'm going after it. For others, it's like you're 40 or you're 60, right? But it's never too late. There's a lot of successful people in this world that have started to be bold and go after it and bet on themselves really late in life. And there's no time frame. Everybody's time frame can be different, but you have to start with that first step, that first video, that first knock on somebody's door as a salesman or whatever you're trying to do. You're selling yourself a product, whatever it is, right? And you know, I got a buddy of mine that wants to get into like being a comedian, right? He's a pretty funny guy. He wants to do stand up in St. Louis, where I live. There's a few places where you can do like amateur hours, and a lot of cities have that. And for the last couple of years, I've been telling him, just go to one. Hey, we'll get some friends together. We'll support you. Just do it. And then see how you feel. If you fail, you fail. But what's the worst that could happen? A couple people heckle you and whatever, your friends and some family are there. It's fine. But look at what could possibly happen. You might actually get that vibe and that energy, and people might laugh, and you might be like, wow, that was great. I want to do it again. And then what can it become, right? So I love that you're talking about people are scared, and it's okay to be scared, but you have to have a time where it's like, life is short. You got to go after it, right? You got to really go after what your purpose is and try that out, you know?
That's where the character thing comes in. I think people need to learn how to get drunk without drinking.
Ooh, say that again.
You need to.
Say that again.
People need to learn how to get drunk without drinking. You have to learn to come out of that comfort zone, and you know what? I'm just gonna go up there and do it, and just like, you got to kind of like fool yourself and just get out of your head and just be a little dumb for a second and just do it. Like, I'm just gonna get there and just say something and do it, and then you're like, wow, I really did. Like, you cannot be yourself all the time. You gotta, like Beyonce has Sasha Fierce, because she cannot really be who she wants to be without coming out of her shy, boring personality.
Also,
so
ego.
you gotta just be a little delusional and come out and just act like don't act like yourself all the time.
Yeah.
Be a little, just like play around a little bit and just stop being so serious, and maybe get on stage and just be a little silly.
Yeah.
And not really be yourself. And then, because yourself is shy, boring.
Yeah.
You can't be yourself if you want to be successful.
Yeah.
It's
funny. I want to, you mentioned you got to be drunk without drinking, right? Or whatever. You got to, and I haven't had a drink in 22 days, right? And it's for different reasons.
Wow.
Yeah, and I made a video, and I've been talking about it just because it's part of my journey. And I also I like the vlog style on the channel, and I try to open up. It's not all just DoorDash. Try to sprinkle in little things here and there about my life or my family or my journey. And like, it's funny that you say that. And then Austin's in the chat. Pedro's been sober 21 days. But
wow.
like for me, yeah, it's like a health thing. I got type 1 diabetes, so I shouldn't drink anyway because it's bad for your health. And I got, a toddler that's 3 years old. I got a daughter that's 23. So I'm trying to be in this world as long as I can, and doing certain things that are unhealthy. You can't do it. So I'm learning to navigate how to have a good time without having a beer or without having a cocktail. You know what I mean? And that is different, but it's like a whole different kind of drunk. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a whole, it feels better in a lot of ways, So I just appreciate you said that, because it kind of resonated with me a little.
Yeah, and I used to think I need to have a drink, but no, like, life, like, I lost a lot of weight, so maybe I'm just a little more happier that I got that weight off. So you got to do what you got to do. Like, I don't think people should do anything just because society tells you to do it. If you don't want to lose weight, you're fine. Don't do it. But if you cannot reach your purpose until you kick the bad habit, then you might need to lose the weight.
There you go. I love that. I love that. I didn't know that was. Maybe I had seen it. You know, was it did you eat better? Lifestyle choices? Like what got you to the point of wanting to lose that weight and be healthy? Like was there, you know, did something happen? Was it just like you knew you wanted to, you knew you had to do that to get to where you wanted to be as the best version of yourself? What was it for you
Yeah.
that made you do that?
Well, the weight was just holding me back in a way where I felt like I wasn't my best self because I was always worried about my weight or how I
Mm,
looked. And it was just, and my stomach was abnormally huge. My
mm,
stomach was out of control and it wasn't normal. It was bad. And so that I was shaped bad. It just was just terrible. I couldn't really, my clothes just didn't look right on me. I was in bad shape. And I mean that physically.
yeah,
And when I lost the weight, my stomach was hanging to my, like halfway down my leg. It was just terrible.
yeah.
And so it just held me back in ways I had a headache every day actually, but I just didn't, it was holding me back from my purpose. And some people can be okay, but I just couldn't be me fully,
Yeah.
the full me that I wanted to be. Because I was
Well, it
always
took.
worried about my weight.
I can imagine, and thanks for answering that. Thanks for answering that, by the way. We didn't have any questions planned, guys. I like to just be very organic and just flow. And in watching your videos, we've never spoken before, nothing. But I was like, I know me and her can have a combo because she's great and her energy and her story. But I appreciate you sharing that because, you know, I don't know if that's easy for you or not, but I can appreciate that vulnerability. But like, was it hard for you to take those steps to really make those real important life changes with like weight and whatever else? Like, was that difficult for you, or was it easy for you?
I was angry. I was angry because I was just like, I'm tired of this weight
Mm,
holding me back from loving my life. And I was angry because every day I was worried about it. And it
mm,
wasn't hard because I made the decision during the pandemic that I'm almost 300 pounds.
mm.
And I said, I'm going to start by waking up at 6 o'clock every morning and going to the park and walking as long as I can walk. I could only do 2 miles. I
Yeah.
did it every day for 4 months.
Mm,
I was just tired of it. It was easy and it was hard,
yeah.
but I just was tired of complaining about my weight all of the time. It was just like I'm tired of it. And then you find out that African Americans were susceptible to getting COVID, is what they said. And so
I've
I'm
heard
like,
that. I've heard that before. Yeah.
so I said, okay. And something just clicked, and I was like, yeah, it's time. I'm almost 300 pounds.
Mm.
And no.
So
And
that
I just
you
got tired.
lost a
Yeah.
lot of weight in just like a 4 year span or so. Is that accurate? About 4 years or?
4 months. In 4 months, I lost about 50 pounds, about 50
Wow.
pounds in 4 months. And
Wow.
then I lost 70 pounds within a 6 month span. So it was like 120 pounds.
Crazy.
But of course, I gained a little bit. I gained like 20 pounds back, but yeah. And so I lost that much weight in a year and like 3 months.
Wow.
So 7, 8, 9,
That's
10 months, something
that's
like that.
But you know, it sounds like with a lot of things, and I haven't had that in my life. I've always been slim, but I've had many other things. And for me, I always had to remind myself, hey, like if you want something different, or if you don't want to feel this way, you have to be willing to do something different. Your actions on a day-to-day basis have to change. So for you, sounds like it's like waking up at 6 a.m., walking a couple miles, and maybe after a couple of weeks of doing that, you walk a little bit more or whatever, right? And you create a new normal for you that's healthier. And I believe, you mentioned people are too scared, right? I think a lot of people hide, they have that fear of the unknown. Like, I don't know if I can do it, or I don't know if I can lose weight. I don't know if I can eat better. I don't know if I can stop drinking. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can quit my job and bet on myself and try something else. A lot of people are
They're
scared.
they're afraid that they're going to fail again and gain the weight back because that's what they've done over and over. So they're afraid to try again because they think that they're just going to give up again.
Mm.
And some people, they're like, I'm tired of trying only to give up.
I can see that. I wanted to, so a friend of mine's in the chat. Her name is Kolaya. I've met her. She's one of the most beautiful human beings I've met. I've met one time, but like her energy, and we've talked a little. She's in the chat. Kolaya, you got to go check out DoorDash. If you don't know who DoorDash is, I recommend you go watch her. I think you're going to fall in love with her. And DoorDash, if you see a comment from Kolaya, trust me, that's somebody you want in your comments. I just needed to have that moment. You guys are both in the same live, and it's just kind of surreal for me. I love it. I like connecting people, and Kolaya is a beautiful person. So, along with a lot of other people here, but she's somebody that I've known since almost the beginning of this channel, and we've met. So she's just awesome. So just want to give her a little bit of love there. But this has been great. I think I told you 30 minutes. We're over an hour, but I'm not surprised because you've got a lot to share, and I'm just very happy to see you grow and do it in such a very organic, authentic way. Because I think it's really easy for people. People sometimes they try to go viral and they do the wrong things, or they do this and they try to make things up, or they do, and your growth has been, so wild in the last 30 days.
I just stopped caring. I stopped caring.
Yeah.
I kind of just like, whatever. You're going to get my personality. And I didn't know I just heard somebody, this is what I heard. 10x your personality. That was somebody's advice on YouTube.
Mm.
And when I started posting, I said, you know what? I'm going to be myself, but bigger, but grander. And I'm thinking that's what y'all are seeing simply from somebody saying that.
Yeah, for sure. What's so you're going to be taking this upcoming week off from the gig work? Is that the plan? Or are you waiting a few more weeks? Like, what's your idea?
I'm waiting until I get the money because right now I have to work.
Yeah.
So this is just that's why whenever you see me talk about it, I'm just like, I can't believe I made this money without having to do gig work, gig work is a blessing. I'm spending it on my gas. I'm spending it on tires. I'm spending it on car repairs, mainly gas. And it's like, what am I spending? $30 every 2 days on gas, $35. And it's like, that's like most of the money.
It adds up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It adds up quick. Yeah.
And so I'm just going to take this time to think, but I'm not going to take a break from YouTube. I just want to take a break from working so much, from driving so much.
Yeah. And I think as gig workers or workers in general, I think I've always been somebody that's been a hard worker. And when I was younger, I always looked at that as like a badge of honor. Like, I worked in the restaurant industries, DoorDash. That's restaurants, kind of all I knew. I did a little bit of consulting. My first job was I sold shoes at like a Finish Line at the mall when I was like 16, and that was a fun job. And then right into basically restaurants. So like in restaurants, you got to work hard, right? Like I've done every job in a restaurant. Every job you can do, I've done. And I got to a little bit older, and then I was more of like managing people versus I was doing processes and people. I wasn't like hands-on as much. And then I got bored because I was so used to just work hard. You got to work hard. That's my value in this world. I got to work hard. I want my bosses to know I'm going to work hard for them. I'm going to show up, work extra overtime. And then I realized like I'm making other people rich. I'm making other people money by working hard, right? And there's value in it, but there has to come a point. I think we share the similarity. It was like, I want to do something for me. My purpose is different. I want to do something for me. I was tired of going in and working for somebody else. And I think the gig work stuff, my point is like the gig work, we have to give ourselves some grace and some time. And I think a lot of gig workers, because the markets are so oversaturated, it's hard out here. You spend money on gas and this and tires and a battery. So it's like, oh, now I got to work even more. It's like we're hamsters on a wheel. Not all of us, because I know a lot of us do it part-time. But if you're doing it full-time, it is a grind. And I don't recommend it for really anybody for a long period of time, right? So I'm just happy to see that you have popped in a way on YouTube to where it's going to give you some grace and some time. and you deserve that, right? I think I think a lot of us do, and we tend to like overwork, and sometimes the more you do gig work, you might gross more money, but you're not making more if you're out there too much. I think long term, I think if you have a goal and you're working towards paying down debt like Mini Mama, that's different. But I think a lot of us are getting in the car, turning the key on, and we're just grinding, and we get lost. And before you know it, oh my God, I've been doing this 7 years. Oh my God, I'm basically in the same position, and I don't have much to show for it. And I feel for the community in that way, because I think that the apps do a good job sometimes of kind of abusing some individuals, But I'm happy to hear you're going to be able to take that time off. I think it's going to be great.
And I will say there were times I was making $300 a day because I had to rent a car for $100 a day, and I said, well, okay. So I was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and working till 9 o'clock at night. I was making $300. So it was a blessing. It was definitely a blessing.
Yeah.
But anyone who's not looking to get out, I don't know. I think you should be looking for a way out, because I'm going to be honest. Food delivery is not good right now. It's not good. And you know what? It was good, but so many people are doing it now. And customers are thinking it's okay to not tip.
Yeah, they are.
It's a household.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think that is? Tipping. I know that there's something called. Well, let me ask you. Do you have time? Are we good?
Yeah, I got. No, I'm good. I got time.
Okay. I don't want to be disrespectful every time. Sorry, but
no, you're good.
I think tipping fatigue is something that America is dealing with, right? Because everybody wants to tip, and it's like you go to this coffee shop and a $5 coffee, and they turn an iPod around as a tip. It's like everybody wants to tip, right? And I get it, because a lot of the big corporations just really don't pay enough, so they have to put in the tip option to supplement the income. It is, especially with servers and bartenders and food delivery drivers, right? But what do you think the reason is that tipping is going down versus, maybe even just a year or two ago? Is it just the overall tip fatigue, or do you think it's something else?
I feel like delivery services has now become a part of our lives. So now that it's a part of our lives, it's a household name now. So people were ordering 3 or 4 times a week, and they realized this is now a part of my finances. This is a bill. And I cannot tip every time I order now, because I'm ordering 5 times a week. So they looked at it as if it's a bill now, and they cannot continue to give more. So now it's like, if I order something if they can't give you, either they can't give you a tip, or they don't give you a tip, or it's only going to be a couple dollars, if that.
And it's 10 miles or something. Yeah.
So they can't look at it like a luxury anymore. It is now a bill.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point. It's become an everyday thing for some people, or a frequent thing, even if it's 2-3 times a week. If you're doing 2-3 times a week, that's a lot of DoorDash and Uber Eats, and it's expensive, right? Spark or Instacart, Grubhub, whatever it is, like, it's expensive. But yeah, the tipping thing is such a hot button topic, because Americans are struggling. The prices on these apps are crazy.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. I think food delivery has I think the expenses that people have been spending over the past 3 or 4 years, food delivery or buying food has really ruined the economy. People have. I feel like there's going to be an extreme crash, because people are like struggling, and I feel like this whole food delivery system has caused it. There's billions of dollars going into food delivery, and it's coming from people's expenses and income.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that is a major problem. That's where the finances. I feel like that's where the ball is dropped, and people don't. I don't know if they see it or not, but billions of dollars on food delivery and everybody's struggling.
It doesn't make sense.
It's
it's weird.
It's like it's messed up. It's messed us up. Like we spend too much money on food delivery. It's messed up the economy. For some reason, people don't see it. Yeah, I know I do. I know I was taking all the money. I was making God, I was making $8,000 a month with food delivery.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little I don't have a degree. I shouldn't be making $8,000 a month. I should be.
Because it's easy. I mean, what we do is easy. It could be frustrating, but it is easy, right? Mostly it's very easy.
Yeah. Like, so I got all your money. Imagine that. We got all your money, and now you're struggling. Now you can't tip. So I look at it both ways.
Yeah.
You know, I was able to get a lot of nice things with food delivery.
Yeah.
And
no,
I don't know if they did.
I give the apps a hard time, but DoorDash, people are gonna hate this because I don't do DoorDash. DoorDash and the gig apps transformed my life, because if I wasn't doing that and looking at that and left my casino job to do this for a year and started YouTube, if I didn't have the DoorDash content in Uber, I might not have this YouTube channel, what it is, in the community and the other things I've been able to do in the house and this and that. Like, it's, you know, I give the companies a lot of hell sometimes, but like at the end of the day, it's been great for me overall. I just don't recommend doing it too long for it being 100% of your income, because like you said, yeah, it's great to make $8K a month. It's like, wow, that's really good money, right? For doing the job we're doing, but how long can it really last? To me, it's always interesting. I make these little shorts, right? And they're not as funny as yours, okay? They're not, but I try to show people about once or twice a week, I'll make some food or this, and I try to show people, like, because I think Americans and people that say they don't tip, they're like, I don't tip, and that's okay. But then they also say when they say I don't have money to tip, that's where it kind of like gets me, because it's like you said, your point was like people are spending too much on food, like, but they're saying they can't afford food. You can't afford certain things because you're not financially literate with your spending. You're spending too much on a DoorDash delivery, Uber Eats, going out to eat. When maybe you need to cook one or two more meals at home, and you're going to save money when you cook at home, right?
That's true.
Try to show people like, hey, you can make this pasta dish that tastes great for $5 or $6 instead of ordering it and spending $50 on DoorDash, you know? But too many people just want the convenience, and it's always weird though. People say I'm too broke to tip. It's my last $12. It's like, when I only had $12 in my bank account, and I've been there many times, I've been negative on my bank account many times over the years. My last thought in the world wasn't to order a pizza, you know? So it's just people. I mean, I think some people, their priorities just got backwards. And I think the pandemic had a lot to do with it, because people were just so used to ordering, and then they got used to these new routines. And I want my McDonald's. Somebody can bring it to me now. I don't have to get off the couch.
Yeah.
So it's like we created this like weird food delivery monster, you know?
Yeah, man. It's, I don't know. I'm just thinking. I just feel like people want freedom to do what they want to do. That's why I tell people, find a way to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you can at least live like you want, but still have some money. You know, people are like, just start saving. No, find a way to make a lot of money. Save, but find a way to use your talents and your gifts to start a YouTube, start making money from YouTube. Just start mowing people's lawns. Like, don't just say, I don't have enough money. Find a way to make a lot of more money.
Yeah.
Like, if you know you like to spend money, figure out how to make some more money.
Yeah.
But you also got to teach yourself better habits, because you won't be broke.
Absolutely.
But like, just don't be like, I got to go to work at McDonald's. Get another job. Go. I don't know. I feel like people need to figure out how to make more money.
I'm with you 100%. And I'm glad you said that, because I think a lot of us, you know, we and people are struggling. Let's not get it twisted. But I think we tend to sometimes feel, well, I don't have enough time. Nope, you got time. You got time. You make the time. Trust me, you got time, right? A lot of people watch a lot of things on the internet. You watch TV, you got this. I tell my audience, listen to that. I tell my audience, like, some of the things that help me is like, if I'm trying to achieve, if I want to be in a better spot financially or health-wise or whatever it is, right? If I want a better relationship with my kid or my girl or my dad, like, okay, what do I do different? Okay, well, one thing could be, hey, I just wake up 30 minutes early. If I'm usually waking up at 7 o'clock, I'm gonna wake up at 6:30, and with that extra 30 minutes, I'm gonna read this book. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get ready early. I'm going to spend that 30 minutes with my significant other or my daughter before they go to school, whatever it is. Or I stay up an extra 30 minutes at night so that you figure out ways to give yourself time to level up your finances or whatever. 30 minutes a day can change your life. I've been doing that for about 5 years now. We're changing my habits, and my day is blocked off in like 30-minute increments, right? So I know when I wake up, I got these things to do. If I'm doing my DoorDash and my editing videos, I'm doing that, but then I got to do this at this time. Like, it's very segmented, and it's helped me a lot because it allows me to look at, I think I talk about like financial literacy and being smart with money, but being smart with your time for me goes hand in hand. Because when you're managing your time better, it allows you to not maybe overspend. It allows you to think about your money differently. It allows you to do another hustle, allows you to have another revenue stream, right? So yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. I think, we got to go out there and it's one thing to say, oh, I don't have money. Well, what are your actions? Are you doing something different, or are you doing the same thing?
That's good. That's so smart. That's so smart. Like I also feel like we watch like I like watching you, but I don't sit and just. This is what I've learned. If I want to grow, let me focus on me. People are like, they're always praising other people. You need to focus on yourself. Give yourself a year to just focus on you.
Yeah.
And stop watching everybody. Well, don't stop watching Pedro, but just stop.
No. Listen, stop. I tell people actively, DoorDash, stop watching me. Don't watch a video of mine. Do something else with that time for a week. Yeah. I used to watch like everybody in this space. And in the last few months, I haven't watched many, not as many. And it saved me time. It's also saved me aggravation. Because what you don't know, you don't know. You don't know if somebody's talking about you and they got to pick. What you don't know, ignorance can be bliss in a positive way sometimes. And then you can focus on yourself instead of focusing on somebody else and what they're doing and worrying about their views. No. Like if I see DoorDash's, we got to celebrate DoorDash's views, but I'm not worried about her views. Those are her views. I think too many people.
You're focused. Exactly.
You got to worry about you.
You feel like I know you're not going to be binge watching my content because you got your stuff, but I see you. You see me.
Yep. Absolutely. And I think we got to learn to take our time of our day and just kind of plan it out a little bit better. And when I started doing that, it took me a couple of years. It's not going to happen overnight. It took me years. Then you start having a new normal in your day, a new routine, and something that feels better. And you don't feel like you don't have time because you're controlling your time. You're controlling who you give your time to, who you call, who you don't call, what email you respond to, what app you turn on, who you watch on YouTube, right? And you start taking power of your time. And that to me is so valuable. And over time, it becomes more of a monetary gain for you. At least that's been my experience.
Yeah. That's why I was able to make 200, 250, 300 in a day because I pick up an order, I go drop it off. I'm not like, I will talk with the restaurant people, but I'm not talking on the phone. I'm not wasting time. I'm on the chopping block. I'm like, let's get it. Let's go. And I don't know how everybody else does it, but like you said, yeah. So I just feel like you can still make good money with everything right now. I just feel like it's your market. Maybe you should move around. There's still money out there. I mean, I made $180 today with all three of the apps. So it's still out there. It's just you got to work longer.
You got to work longer, or you got to find out what's the next thing that might be coming in the gig space, because gig economy is going to grow. It's going to grow beyond just the on-demand food delivery stuff, right? There's going to be ebbs and flows. You got to be kind of in the forefront of that, I think. But I think the money's not going to, you might have to work a little harder now, but hopefully you don't have to do that too long. But
I don't know, Pedro. I think it's getting worse.
Yeah.
I think it's bad. It's real bad. I can't see people just all of a sudden waking up. Oh, let me tip them $10 again. Let me give them. It's a collective now. it's everybody's not tipping now.
You know what I heard too? I don't know, Gen Z, there was a study or a poll or whatever. Gen Z, they tip less than the boomers and Gen X generation. So as people get older, the tipping normality is going to lessen. And we're starting to see these the Gen Zers are like, they're like very like more anti-establishment, anti big business corporation. We want your money should come from them. So we're seeing a growing trend of Gen Zers not tipping or not believing in it. So down the line, as they become older, that will continue. And the people that usually tip us well are not going to be here. So I definitely see a trend.
I don't see it lasting. I don't know. I don't see delivery lasting, like food delivery. I don't see it. I see it like phasing out.
It's going to be interesting. I think a lot can happen on either end. I think the gig economy will grow, but I think the food delivery space will continue to go down. But the gig economy and the ways that you can make money with your phone will go up, but it'll be outside of the food delivery game. You know what I mean? It'll be other things, other hustles, other gigs. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I think I'll always be in it in some way.
Oh yeah.
But I'll always be doing content as well. But
I'm not.
This has been great. You giving me a lot of your time tonight. I think the people love the conversation. It's definitely a different vibe than what I usually do on Sundays. But this was I had a great time just getting to know you a little bit more and share some thoughts with you. What would you like to tell the audience that's kind of coming up this week as far as your content creation? Do you got anything planned, or are you somebody that wakes up and says, I got this thought and I'm gonna do it? What could the audience be expecting from you in the next week or so?
Well, I plan to just make my content more visually exciting and fun to watch. Well, along with me just talking and my thoughts, because I feel like we get downloads, it's something we need to tell people. So I get downloads and thoughts, and I've always been that way. And I've always noticed my content where I'm just talking, kind of like preaching to people, gets a lot of traction. And so that'll be my content, just helping people and getting people out of their fears. Because for some reason, when I post, people get excited to do something. And it's like, you should already have the excitement. You should already have the motivation. But when you show up for people, it just gives them an inspiration to keep going. And so I just want to keep showing up however I can show up.
Love it.
And that's my goal, is just to keep showing up, keep showing my face and my presence. And just my presence alone inspires people in ways I never could imagine. So I'm just going to keep showing up, keep posting, and giving you whatever I feel like giving you.
I love that. It's like your videos are inspiring action. It's kind of how I look at it a little bit, right? Like you even mentioned people are like, they're excited, they want to. So that's amazing. I think you're in a great space. I'm definitely going to be watching and keeping up with you, and definitely love to have you back on at some point when you got 100,000 followers, because it's gonna happen probably a lot sooner than you ever expected. And
I'm thankful and I'm grateful, and
yeah,
I just, for some reason, I wanted to explain what I meant by getting angry when I was trying to lose weight. I don't want people to think I was mad. I was just like tired of complaining. So if you're just one of those people where you're always talking about your weight, make this the last day that you complain. Either deal with it or do something about it. Or if you're afraid to do something and you keep talking about how you're afraid of it, either be quiet or do it. Because it's not, I just was like, okay, if you have to be angry doing it, get it done. Like, I don't know.
No, sometimes
just get it done.
Sometimes anger can be a motivator for some, right? Everybody can be different, but like if you're angry about this or not having that or feeling this way, sometimes that can inspire people to be like, you know what, I need to have change. I want it now. I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. I'm going to walk my ass 2 or 3 miles. I'm going to do what I got to do. Drop that.
Yeah, like literally I was walking just, I'm tired of feeling like this. I'm tired of this. Just like, when I lose this weight, anyway.
It worked for you, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Oh, and I was tired of being broke and working all day doing DoorDash. So a lot of stuff I did, out of like, I'm not going to sit here and just, I'm going to do what I need to do, post this content, edit this video. Go ahead.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I can hear you talk all day. I love that. I love that. And you're living proof of it, right? And you're going to continue to do what you got to do. If you ever need anything, you got my email. Reach out if I could be of any help, or a soundboard, whatever. And I'll do the same for you. If I got a question, I'm going to hit you up, because you know, I respect you as a creator, and I appreciate you spending an hour and a half with us tonight. And
okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll see you around. Bye.
All right, guys. Bye. That was DoorDash. Something interesting happened there. We had I think we got botted, or was a glitch. Anyways, the watch count was crazy for a while, but I wasn't tripping off it. I noticed it, but I just wanted to stay in the conversation. I'm going to end the live now. I want this to be a unique Sunday live. I wanted her to come on here and share her story. I wanted you guys to know who she was. Many of you did, maybe some of you didn't. And I wanted to just have a conversation with her tonight. That's tonight's live show. If you're around family, friends, whatever, give them a hug. Tell them you love them. You never know how that might change somebody's day. I'll see you guys next Sunday, and I'll see you in tomorrow's vlog. Have a great night.